Now, subtracting fractions is exactly the same as addition, except that the numerators are subtracted. I'm sure most of you kind of figured that out already, which is awesome, instead of being added together. So we do exactly the same thing. The instructions are actually exactly the same, except that we change the word addition or add to subtraction or subtract. Now, again, there's some differences if we have like a bigger second number than a first number, but for this lesson, we have kept it to the first number is always bigger, so we won't have negatives at this point here. So again, steps. Be sure the denominators of the fractions are the same. They're all going to be in this lesson. So we have 4 over 5 and 1 over 5, so the 5 is exactly the same. So I'm just going to write these out a little bit bigger so it's a little easier to see. All right, is that big enough? Hopefully. All right. Now, the bottoms are the same, which means that all we need to do is subtract the numerators. 4 minus 1, or 4 subtract 1, is just 3. Now, our denominator, again, does not change. We keep it exactly the same because we're still dealing with the same number of pieces of the whole. Okay, so that doesn't change. So if there are, let's say a pizza is cut into 5 slices, and I use a pizza a lot because it's a very simple and easy example to use. If it's broken into 5 slices and there was 4 of them, and you took away one of those pieces, you're left with 3 pieces. But they both have to be broken into the same size piece. You can't be dealing with different sizes. We're going to go into that in our next lesson on what happens if we have different sizes or a different number of sections. So for right now, we're always going to make sure that our sections are the same. Now we've got to simplify it if possible. 3 and 5 are actually both prime numbers, so it definitely doesn't work to simplify this down and to make it easier. All right, let's complete each subtraction statement. So we're going to do a little bit of practice here. We have 3 over 4 minus 1 over 4. So again, the bottom numbers are the same, so we can subtract the tops. 3 minus 1 is just 2, and the bottom stays the same, so it is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2, and the 4 stays the same because we're still dealing with fourths. Okay, there's 3/4 here and 1/4, so we get rid of one of them and we're left with 2. This can be simplified as we divide both by 2, and so this is 1/2. So our final answer is 1/2. Now the final answer can definitely have a different denominator as the question because it could be simplified, but until it's simplified, it should have the exact same value. 5 over 6 minus 1 over 6. Well, they have the same denominator, so that's kind of where we start with. And then we do 5 minus 1 is 4, and the denominator still stays exactly the same. Notice we have not changed the denominator. We keep it exactly the same. Again, we can divide all these by 2, and so this is 2 over 3. And that will be our final answer. Now 6 over 4 is really close, but we need to make sure that we simplify it down into lowest terms. It's very important that we have that for later on. They're really stickler on making sure that we keep it in lowest form. The last one here, number 3, 3 over 7 minus 1 over 7. You'll notice that, again, the denominators are exactly the same. So then all we do is we subtract the numerators. 3 minus 1 is 2. And the 7s stay the same. We don't change the 7s. And so now we can divide by 1. That was supposed to be a dramatic pause. We can't actually divide by anything other than 1. And so this then is our final answer. Now if you just take a look through, you can work on question number 6. And that will be part of the assignment that will deal on subtracting regular fractions.